The descent through Athara's atmosphere was anything but graceful, my ship. The Wayfarer shuddered as lightning slashed across the violet clouds. Sensors blinked red, then black. I pulled the manual thrusters, but it was too late. The surface rose fast, a blur of silver forests and black stone. Impact silence, then the hiss of cooling metal. I crawled from the wreck. The air tasted metallic and sweet. Bioluminescent plants glowed along the cliffs. And somewhere, far off, a river sang like glass breaking. Might comes where dead orbit was too far. For rescue I was alone, or so I thought. A sound drifted through the mist. Low, rhythmic, chanting shapes. Emerged tall figures cloaked in woven silver leaves. Eyes shining with amber light. There were dozens surrounding me in a perfect circle. One stepped forward, her voice deep and steady. "Outsider," she said, "you walk where none have walked in 105 cycles. Tell us your purpose before the sky spirits claim you." "I come from another world," I said slowly. My ship crashed. I mean no harm. Murmurs rippled through the group. Their leader tilted her head. "A man," she whispered. "A living man." That word echoed between them like a spark in dry grass before. I could ask. They bound my wrists with vines that pulsed faintly alive, tightening and loosening as if breathing. They led me through the silver forest toward a towering structure of stone and crystal. Inside, hundreds of alien women watched me with unreadable faces. Some were painted in patterns of blue dust. Others wore armor made from what looked like hardened glass. At the far end sat a throne of living wood. Upon it rested a figure twice the size of the others, regal, luminous, and ancient. Her eyes locked onto mine. "I am Vashara," she said, "High Matron of the Alari. For 105 years, our world has been without the presence of your kind. The last man who came here brought ruin. Why should you be any different?" My throat tightened because I didn't come here by choice. "And I don't want to hurt anyone." The whole fell silent. Then a voice from the crowd hissed, "We should not trust him. Men bring plague and fire." Another murmured, "Let the storm decide his worth." Vashara raised her hand enough. She turned to me. "You will face the trial of breath, survive it, and we will listen. Fail, and the wind will scatter your ashes." They brought me to a canyon where the air howled like a living beast. I was placed on a narrow bridge of stone that spanned a chasm glowing with blue fire. Vashara stood on the far side, her silver cloak fluttering like wings. "The trial of breath," she said, "measures truth. If your heart carries deceit, the winds will throw you into the abyss, and we will know your soul." Stepped forward. The bridge shivered beneath my boots. The wind hit like a wall, pushing me back. I gritted my teeth and took another step. Halfway across, I felt the air grow heavy. Whispers rose around me, not from the tribe, but from the wind itself. "You will fail, outsider. You are nothing here." I forced myself forward. I came to live. I shouted into the storm, not to conquer. The wind screamed louder, then stopped. Suddenly calmed. The bridge solidified beneath my feet. I crossed the last few steps and collapsed. Before Vashara, gasping, she regarded me for a long time. Then she smiled, faint but real. "The wind speaks true. You are not the destroyer they feared." That night, the Alari tribe held a gathering beneath the twin moons. They unbound my wrists and offered me fruit that glowed faintly when cut open. I learned their story, how a century ago human explorers had come seeking resources and left behind devastation. Disease swept through their kind, taking every male and many females since then. They vowed never to let another outsider live. Yet Vashara believed in balance. "If you came here by fate," she said, "perhaps the spirits mean for us to understand one another again." Days passed. I helped repair irrigation channels using techniques from my colony training. In return, they taught me to read the motion of the wind and the language of their glowing plants. I discovered that their forests were alive in more ways than I could imagine. Each tree part of a vast neural web that connected the planet's surface like a living brain. The Alari didn't just live on Athara. They were Athara in time. I came to see that their fear of men wasn't hatred, it was memory, the kind that leaves scars even after generations. One evening, as the sky turned indigo, Vashara joined me by the river. Her reflection shimmered beside mine in the glassy water. "You changed the storm," she said quietly. "Since you crossed the bridge, the winds have calmed. The planet feels it. I didn't change anything." I said, "I just survived." "Sometimes survival is change," she said. She looked toward the stars, my stars. "Will your people come for you? Maybe," I said. "But if they do ill, make sure they know this world isn't theirs." Sue, take her golden eyes soft, and then perhaps the cycle ends with you. Weeks later, the comms beacon on my ship flickered to life. I could have sent a signal, but I hesitated. Instead, I stood at the canyon's edge, watching the Alari move like silver ghosts in the moonlight. The wind that once howled now whispered gently around me, carrying a single word in their tongue. Kinai smiled. "Guess I passed the trial after all. Bashara raised her hand in farewell. Go. Travella. Or stay. The choice is yours now. For a long moment, I listened to the living planet breathe around me, the pulse of leaves, the quiet thunder of roots beneath. The soil, the world that once wanted me gone now, called me one of its own. And as I walked back toward the ruins of my ship, I knew that the galaxy beyond would never understand what I had found here. Not fear, not conquest, but forgiveness after 105 years of silence.